This is where we're at right now. Just 100% tore apart. Literally every nut and bolt. Alright, so basically, I just picked the bike up from powder coat, and it looks stupid good. That spray paint's gone. Thing turned out pretty good. So I'm going to slap these on quick, and then go out to the garage and start putting everything back together. I just want to do this in here because it's a little cleaner, and I'm going to do the Windex method probably, or whatever. So get that done quick. Okay, so I put the stickers on. I got these ones off eBay this time, so they're not as good quality as the ones I got from Trail Buddy a couple years ago, but they're fine. They'll work. They're just not, I don't know, they're not as good, but it's fine. Stickers can always get taken off and put on. I didn't even care to check what side these two stickers go on to be legit. I just threw one on each side. These probably aren't even straight or lined up with each other. It's whatever, don't really care. The powder coat looks pretty good inside and out. Turned out really nice, so that should not look like trash for a while. I got the brake lever done black. Turned out good. Probably put some grip tape right there or something. I did the grab handle black, the brake arm black for the rear, swing arm we did white. I did a set of wheels in this like hyper yellow, basically like a tennis ball color, I guess, and then I got another set white, and everything turned out really good. I think I was gonna put the white wheels back on, but these look so good, I think I'm gonna put these on for like the wheels that are gonna go on it, and then put a second set of wheels together with like some dual sport tires with some knobbies on them, just to have. I probably won't use them, but we'll have them in case something happens, get a flat or something. And then I got my oil catch can from Motor Kit, the Kept Speed one. It even came with a cool little aluminum badge, all the fittings, hose. So this mounts right up here. So this will mount right here. I don't know if I'm gonna run it there because it blocks my grab handle, so I might build another bracket to sit here and just block that whole sticker I just put on. But I don't know. I don't really care about the grab handle. I got it powder coated, but this is way more cool and useful than the grab handle is. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna build another bracket to lower this down to here so I can still use the handle or what. I'll figure that out once I get everything set up for that. That's the rundown. So the last like couple months, I was videotaping a few things to put up some videos together, some updates and whatever else. But I've been so busy and lazy to like edit them and put them together. So I just have a bunch of footage that I haven't used. So I'm just gonna kind of do a recap now and just make it into this video and just not post all the other things. So basically, here's the whole bike tore apart. I had it all put together on the bike, and the starter wasn't working. It was just humming, making a noise. Even when I hooked the jump box up to it, it wouldn't start the bike. So I decided to pull the starter off and like tear the whole starter apart, see what was going on. And I took the starter apart and didn't really look like anything was wrong, so I put it back together, and with the starter off the motor, I hooked the jump box to it, and it was like it wouldn't even turn still. It wouldn't even spin, nothing. So I kept jumping it, and eventually it started to slowly start to spin, a little bit more every time I would hit it with power. And eventually it started kind of moving fast, so it started to work. I don't know if it just needed to be freed up or what, but it started to work. So I put it back on the bike, and I thought I put it together wrong, so I was pulling the starter back off, and the way I was pulling it, it popped out because it was an O-ring, and it popped out so hard. There's a really sharp edge on this motor right here where they machine it, and when it popped off, I don't know if you'll be able to see, but right here on my pinky, right there, nice scar, it smashed my finger so hard that it gashed it open all the way to the bone. And so at first I thought I was just smashed my finger, so I moved to the other side of the bike And I was over here working on stuff, and it started to see a bunch of blood on the ground. It was all over the place. It was just dripping. I tried to clean the motor up, but there's still blood there. Now it's gone. Blood there. So anyways, I ran inside, wrapped my finger up really good, come back out, and within maybe 3 to 4 minutes, it bled through all the wrap I put on it and was pouring out of my finger onto the floor again. So I went back inside, tried to super glue it, but it was bleeding so much, super glue wouldn't go into the cut. So I wrapped it up again, came out here, and it bled through. So finally I decided to go to the emergency room to get some stitches because it would not stop bleeding. I tried to glue it and everything. Went in, got some stitches. That was on December 1st. Got the stitches taken out December 10th, I want to say. And it cost me $1,700 in hospital bills. And I was there for less than an hour to get stitches. So far, this thing cost me $940 to buy, $1,700 in hospital bills. And I haven't even rode the thing yet. So that's the rundown on that. Alright. A little update again. I put the starter back on, and I wanted to pull it off one more time to make sure I had all the right bolts or whatever. And when I was pulling it off, I somehow smashed my pinky, which I didn't think was a big deal. But I smashed it pretty good, and it sliced it open pretty deep. So I was bleeding everywhere. All the way down to the bone. Right where I bent my finger. I had to go get some stitches on the 1st. It's the 8th today. So I can get these things taken out today, tomorrow, or this week, whatever. It smashed my finger so hard between the starter and the engine case, it sliced it to the bone, and it was just pouring blood out everywhere. One more update. I got my stitches out. What's today? Today's Friday. Got my stitches out Wednesday. Yeah, 13th. I got them out the 10th. Can't see my bone no more. So new front end, I'm going to have to switch the hub so it's black to match the rear. Or paint that one, but I'll probably just switch it, clean that one up and switch it. I got to get the fork tubes off and add, I got some of this. I never did fork oil, so I just kind of picked up 20 weight. It's medium. We'll fill them up. We'll see if it does anything. The bearing on the bottom of my old front end broke like it always does. It's like seized to the rod. It broke. I only had an upper laying around, a couple uppers actually, and I didn't really want to use these ones. I don't know, they're probably fine, but I'm just not really a fan of the design of those. I like the tapered roller bearings, so I got a fresh set of those. I got, Jason sent me the 3D printed rear brake light bracket, which is actually pretty nice compared to my old one. So this will go here. Looks like it's gonna fit just about perfect, even with powder coat on there. So that'll mount right there, and that'll get rid of my old scrap metal license plate junk bracket I had before. I got the front end from David. He also sent me the new shocks, so I'm going to probably use those. The old shocks, the bushings are all tore up and the yellow is just filthy. I was going to take the springs off, get them powder coated, but I couldn't get them apart. I could not get this lower part off to get the spring out. And my license plate mounted to these with headlight brackets, which worked out really good, but these don't have that tank on it, so I'm going to have to, if I decide to use these, I'm going to just swap these out for the headlight bracket on that, because that's what I originally bought them for, and I'll have to find a way to mount the plate. The plate, I have a stainless steel plate on the back with rubber bushings separating it, because I kept breaking plates and they'd fall off and I'd lose them. So I got that, mounted it, and now I just have to figure out another way to mount it, since I can't do that anymore the way I had it. What else? Yeah, the catch can I'm gonna run. So it's kind of cool how this works. This fitting here, it's the same as this one over here, but that one's in a bag, so I'll just grab this one. So this goes, if I don't step on everything, your oil plug, this replaces your oil dipstick, and then you run a hose from here to the catch can, and then one from here to the catch can, and then you run this one, so these two will come from the motor, and then this one, when it's mounted here, we'll have a short hose probably back up under here with a filter on it, just as a breather. And then down here, there's a plug that's for a drain, so when it fills up with oil, whatever, you just pull it and you can drain the oil out that it catches. So that'll be cool. Okay, yeah, this is the 26 that I bought for the 140. Still have that. And then I picked up, this is the 28 that came with the 212. And then I bought a 34 millimeter flat slide. And then I also got a, what is this one, a 30? A 30 flat slide. And the way these carbs mount, this goes to your manifold on your motor. And then this goes on the carb, like this. And I didn't have a way to connect these two, so I had to buy a foot-long piece of 1 1/4 inch outside diameter aluminum, cut it, so this will mount to the motor, this goes in here, clamps, this goes into the carb, clamps. I'm not going to push it all together right now because it's one hand, unless I can. But anyways, when it's pushed together all the way, there's really no gap. I cut it to where you can barely see the pipe, clamp it, and then I can change out any one of these 3 carbs, the 28, the 30, the 34, and then this one just bolts right to the manifold if I want to use it, but I'm going to just assume that's going to be too small. But I'm thinking this is going to be the cat's ass right here is the 30. The 34 is just, it's huge. I don't know why I bought it, but figured if I do, I'm going to put this carb on the bike. If it runs good right out of the box without really messing with it, then I probably won't go to the dyno right away because we'll just run it. If I can't get it to run good, I'm going to go to the dyno. I'm going to bring at least these 3, if not all 4, and we'll throw them all on and see what one has the best mid-range power, top-end power, overall power, drivability, all that stuff. So I'm hoping if I can just slap this on, it'll run good. But even if it does, I still plan to go to the dyno at some point just to kind of see what it makes, get it really dialed in perfect, all that stuff. I mean, I got jet kit here, I got a jet kit here, I got a jet kit here, I got the oil cooler with these swivel barb fittings. What else? This is like a lot to kind of think about. You just gotta take these off, pop the hose off, and then run a hose because these are barbed up too. Hose here, cooler, mount it somewhere, good to go. I'm gonna start putting this together tonight. I want to get the motor on, the front end on, the swing arm, the shocks, everything pretty much but the wheels and tires if I can, because I don't have tires. I don't want to reuse my old ones because they're kind of shot. And I also want to get new hardware for the wheels, some nice like black hardware so they don't look gross since they're all powder coated and new. So, and then I'm probably not going to put the catch can on tonight. The oil cooler, because I need to build a bracket for that, things like that. But I want to get a start on it tonight. Alright, all the wiring up front's done. I just got to put the grommet back in the frame. Everything's ran to the back. Coils mounted. Engine wires are down there. Now I just got to do taillight, battery, CDI, all that stuff. Alright, so these rubber pads that sit on this little brace here that kind of like cushion the fuel tank, those got taken out for powder coat, so I don't really have any options, so I'm just going to hot glue them back into place, which probably isn't the best way to do it, but I don't really have much of a choice, so it should work just fine. Alright, I'm going to call it a night because I have not ate yet today. Well, I did at like 10 a.m. I had a little snack. It's 10:15, so I'm starving. I need to go inside. I got everything, wiring done. It's all ran, the battery's hooked up. I was just testing to make sure some stuff worked. All I have to do is wire in this taillight because my old taillight has one different color wire. So I just have to do a couple testing to make sure I hook the right ones up. And then that'll be done, and then it's completely wired other than plugging the 4 wires in for the motor once that's on. Bars are on just to kind of hold the light. Tanks in, wiring's 99% done, 90% done, I don't know. We're getting there. Tomorrow I have kind of a long day at work. I'm going to come home, get the motor on, get the forks on, get the swing arm and shocks on, get the exhaust on.